Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and I'm not going to apologize for taking the weekend off. I mean, I kind of wanted to be doing speed duel stuff right now. There's been shipping slowages for my OTS, so I still do not currently have the midterm destruction boxes yet. Once we do, we are obviously going to drop what we're doing. We're going to go ahead and make those videos. That'll be the box opening. And again, I haven't looked at it, but any spoilers. I've managed to keep myself this long. So I'll just do like a quick react video opening one. We'll open up all the booster, like the little secret rare boosters that come inside. And then we're going to get straight to work. Me and Celestial will knock out the 1x tournament. We'll do the 3x builds. We'll do the 3x tournament. We'll make the best deck that could possibly be made using 3 copies of the box. And then we're going to move on to making all the decks from the box using all the new skills before we start revitalizing everything old. That's going to be guaranteed. Second, again, this is Monday. I forgot to say happy Monday. I'm working on my old list because I think it's still written down in one of my old notebooks for Six Samurai in the Edison format. Because again, when I went over the Six Samurai, this guy was surprisingly missing, seeing as he was from, what, Strike of Neos. And I'm pretty sure Strike of Neos existed at that point in time because the Six Samurai existed. So, I do have my build. I'll probably be doing that next week, week after. And then we'll get back into the whole Edison format stuff. Instead, what I wanted to do is I wanted to capitalize with this moment. I wanted to present my own personal format, something that we're going to be building onto the channel. Hopefully you guys all steal this format and build these at your own homes and within your play circles. So I want to talk to you guys about draft. So draft is pretty simple. Back in the past, we used to have the battle packs. We had 3 seasons of it. We had, I don't remember what the first one was. It was like something Dawn, Epic Dawn, Battle of Dawn, Dawn of the Battle. Something like that. It was season 1. You guys have seen the play mats. For me to buy the setup that has 8 booster packs and the play mat is $100. I will not be doing that to make any investment to the channel. Instead, I'm going to teach you guys how to make it. The second one I want to say was like War of the Gods. It was pretty exciting. It was the closest the God cards ever came to a common. As they had some weird battle tech rarity to them. I still have some copies of these. Maybe I could pull them up another day and we'll put them on the table and you guys can take a peek. And then I don't even remember what the 3rd season was called. I just remember there being a 3rd season of it. It was like All-Stars or Superstars or something. And the idea for Duelists was you had this really cheap pack that was like $2, $3 a pack. And you were able to play sealed events by just going ahead and like busting open the pack. Again, the draft is normally played 2 ways. You either open boosters and you open it, you like spread, you know what, you'd open it, you'd like spread the cards and you go like, this is the good one. I'm going to take this. And you'd take the card, you'd pass the pack to the next person. And you guys would do that until everybody has opened all of your packs. And everybody now has a deck sitting in front of them. Or you would simply just open X amount of packs, and that's your deck. And then my friends have assured me that there's another team on YouTube that's currently doing this, where they use structure decks. Now, they're not drafting them. They're just choosing what they're going to play. So we're going to, I guess, borrow their idea, and we're going to borrow a little bit of the other idea, and we're going to go ahead and make a draft. So what I've been doing for the last, like, 3 years of this channel is every time a structure deck comes out, and maybe we could just back off just a little bit. You can see a little bit of my table today. Every time a structure deck's come out, I bought an extra copy. I buy my 3 plus 1, so there's 4 every time. And the reason I've been doing this is because it doesn't really cost me all that much extra to do, and I've been setting up this whole time. So if you're somebody who does collect extra structure decks, or again, maybe your card shop just has extra structure decks laying around, or you take note of the like the retail cycle, certain decks just come back after time. They get an additional printing run. This is a great way to get your base built. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to need to invest. You're going to need to invest in these. Again, I've already got quite a few. We will probably start our draft cycle with the 2-player starter set since it is the newest of all the products. And again, this came with 2 decks. It came with a Synchro base build, and it came with an Xyz base build. This is probably where we're going to start. So again, this cost me, I think it was like 20 bucks. I went directly to the Ultra Pro website. Because again, if you put in like a big order, again, this is like a free shout out to them. They're not paying me to do this. I just buy their products because they're good and I've used them for years and they hold up. But what they've got is they've got their little cheap deck boxes, the little Ultra Pros. These guys are like $3. So again, when you're going to build like a big box format like this is going to help you curb your costs. But if you get your order up to like $50 or whatever, it's like free shipping. So they just, again, if the shipping would be like $12, you can get like an extra 4 or 5 of these instead of just paying a shipping cost. So I don't understand why you wouldn't. But again, it's cheap. What you're going to do is you're just never going to mark it. And what we're going to do is we're going to hand write notes on note cards. Because again, we got one sitting over here. Note card for the most part would fit in here. Again, which you could do. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you just want to go ahead and you want to, take a picture of the list or write it out on your computer, put it in like a smaller font, print it out, cut it out, stick it on a card, put it in the deck box. The point is we're going to be able to modify the decks over time, but we need to make sure that they're all uniform so that, again, anybody who's going to play in your draft tournaments isn't picking the deck they want. This way it randomizes your decks. And this only gets you so far. This is a really good way to just start playing. Again, I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take a guess, and I know I'm going to get dinged if I'm wrong. I want to say my friend said that the YouTube team that does this is APS. And what they'll do is, again, they'll just grab some structure decks and play each other and have a blast. So that is the first level of draft. Go ahead, get some deck boxes, get some structure decks, and obviously get yourself some sleeves. Again, mine as well. I was already on Ultra Pro. Again, I love the sleeves. They're not paying me to say this. I just like them. They got the small size for the Yu-Gi-Ohs. They got standard size if you guys are playing anything else. Another thing that you're going to want, and I'm not going to pan over to it because part of the dungeon is a mess right now. We've got just some open boxes every which way because we were doing D&D stuff. The big white like shoe boxes with like the 5 lines. We could buy these off of Amazon, and these boxes actually fit. Like you can actually fit one of these straight down in, and it's actually how a good portion of my collection of decks from other games is organized. And again, normally you could write whatever you want on the top there. Takes a Sharpie real well. But it's form fit, and you can fit, I want to say it's like 8 to a line. And if you have a straight up 5-lane box, you're talking like, again, 8 times 5 is 40. That's like 40 decks just in structures. And I don't know that anybody's going to need that many, so much as it's kind of fun to have a ton of them. So that's that. You're going to want to sleeve your decks, box your decks, and create a way that the decks are going to be able to, like, again, go back to base. Now, with the structure decks, this does get a little easier. And we're going to take a look at this Scarlight one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. Obviously, if I shave that with, like, a razor, we can get that whole list from this and slide this into the box. So this is never going to be an issue. We are always going to be able to set this one back to base. So that's fun. What else do you do? What makes this draft format so exciting? Well, it wouldn't be draft if it was just drafting decks, right? So we need to find a way to draft the cards to the decks. So random deck is one thing, but what if we found a way to give you guys random booster packs? And again, battle of, the battle packs are gone. We're basically looking to the Dragon Shield because they make these great miniature deck boxes called the Cube Shells. Cube Shells come in many different colors, slight change to the design. This is the reason why we bought this right here. Holds up to 20 sleeved or 15 double sleeved. If you buy one of these boxes where you get all 8, the cost is usually about 12 bucks. It's not that bad. These I spent half price on. I don't know why they were clearancing the black cubes out, but I figured we just coordinate our deck boxes with our draft packs. The draft packs, however, can be absolute randomized every time you go to get these. So if you got like a impartial third party that's not going to be competing in the tournament, great. Or you could go ahead and take the time to make some curated packs and place like one really good monster, a couple of like pretty okay spells, like one very good trap, you know, some extra deck stuff that's generic. You can do whatever you want, and you figure out how you get to knowing how many packs you're going to draft between you and another player. I bought 6 of these, 6 and 8, 48, times 20, so do the times 2, then add your 0. 960 cards could be in my draft at any one point in time in the shells. So this is good. And just like proof of concept, because I'm not going to sit here and just open this right now, I have some that I bought a previous time for speed duel decks, because again, these hold 20. If you're not running an extra deck, you can kind of slip a 21st card in there, as we'll do right now. And so like you could technically, without side deck, you could, wow, I'm just going to keep putting him inside of the Gale sleeve. Maybe you can't put 21 in here. Never mind, you can. So you could always have just slid like a skill card in there with it. But again, let's just get rid of the Shogun. And this is half of one of my Edison decks, just because I wanted size. So just so you could see, like, these are all sleeved. They're all sleeved. It is 20 cards. You guys can count it back later. And this was just the top 20 cards off that deck. They fit in there perfectly. And that's the whole concept here. So as long as you have enough sleeves, and again, this is going to be kind of pricey to put it together at first, but you'll have a ton of these. You may not start with a bunch of these right off the rip. You might start with just 8. You'll create 8 basic packs. You'll start with like 4 different decks. What's going to happen in the future of this channel is I'm going to play this format. We're going to do things where, obviously, we did the opening for the Battles of Legend. If we go through some like the commons real quick, like Chris could be in there because he's just generically good, dark, 1900. Like, that's fine. You probably wouldn't add, like, well, you could add Denko Seka, but you might not add Denier because, like, he may not do something great. Pankratops will be in there. And then the argument becomes like, okay, Pankratops is a great card. We know this. How many copies would you allow into the draft pool? Okay. That becomes a very good question. Same thing with cards like Prisma. He's not going to over centralize anything. Fellas would be kind of cool, whatever. Galaxy Soldier, you know, and you just kind of go through here and you just see all sorts of cards that register as being like cool cards that you could throw in and make a nice card pool. Again, if we took apart like just the traps from the structure decks, and I do have some of the traps from this still sitting here on the table, like Back to the Front, good stuff. Call of the Haunted, good stuff. The thing is, like, I've already got these in playset in my advanced format collection, which is the black sleeves. These cards probably don't exist in white sleeve speed duel, which leaves my common charity and now draft formats. So again, as long as I have these in my common charity, I just take the extras and I'll put them into the draft. And again, you could get some really cool cards like Magic Cylinder. It's like, again, how many do you use? Needle Sealing would be goofy. It would add for more entertainment value and could stop decks that just swarm to the field like the Red Dragon Crimson King build. It says, you know, if there's 4 more monsters, destroy all face-up monsters. That's not bad. No entry, not bad. So again, we get the ability that even if you guys all steal this format from me and you guys start running with it, the cards I let into my format might be different than the cards you let into your format. And I do want to talk in the future about bringing cards into the format. I would love your guys' help on this. This has been like 3 years of plotting, planning, and scheming here, just to get to this point where we got to make this video. And I mean, in a way, I'm kind of glad that like the speed duel stuff got delayed, but at the same time, like Monday or Tuesday, because again, this is Sunday I'm filming this. It did not arrive at my locals yet. So if it arrives late Monday, I'll grab that after work. If it arrives sometime Tuesday, I'll have the videos up by Wednesday. And again, I'm going to jump straight into the speed duel, but I want your guys' help building this. These 4 decks are going to be the first 4 decks that get sleeved up and tossed in. So that's that. I will be doing that right after I get off of here doing this. If you guys want to pick the next deck after we get some games in, that's fine. We'll start adding them in. I've got another guy who does like video game streaming. I kind of hopped on one of his streams one day, unmiked, in order to help him sort of like play Warframe, if you guys are familiar with that game. We did some cool stuff that was all right. But he's thinking about stepping into the Yu-Gi-Oh world. And so you might start seeing him, hearing him, I guess, in some of the speed duel videos and some of this draft format stuff. So we're going to do some stuff. We're going to get this going. And hopefully this is going to be good and entertaining, because that was the whole point. So for now, guys, I hope everybody had a good Easter. I hope everybody's having a good Monday. Hopefully all your OTSs got in the speed duel product on time. And I hope to see you guys again next time. All right. See you later.